Today I'm going to actually demonstrate how to water sand your clear coat after you have successfully complete your two-stage process. So I'm going to actually demonstrate and I'm going to show you some procedure how you could still get the perfect finish after you complete your two-stage process. Sometimes in your base coat, after adding your base coat and applying the clear coat, you don't end up getting the desired finish that you really want. But there's still ways of still perfecting your job. So I'm gonna use some 3M rubbing compound. This is what I'll use at the initial stage after I complete my water sanding. And then after I'll also use some ultra fine machine polish. This will help me to get rid of all the machine swirls and also help to bring up the shine. And then after that, you could also use some clean and shine, just spray on and then use a microfiber towel to wipe it off. I'm also going to use some 1500 sandpaper, wet or dry sandpaper, to help get rid of the heavy orange peel. And then after that, I'm going to complete it with 2000 wet or dry sandpaper. I also have my buffing machine here and now my pads. I also have a container with some water so I could use to do the water sanding. Always your job to make sure you please your customer. So you always have to go beyond their expectation to make sure that when they come to pick up their vehicle, they're always in like, wow. You're supposed to blow their mind. They're not supposed to come and be like, what is this? Or don't want to pay you because they think you didn't do a good job. You're supposed to make sure that whatever you do, it's like if you get a car to paint, it's your signature that is going on that job. And if you do a good job, that customer will recommend customer to you and you'll always have job. And for the future, you will be good. I have a door that I actually did my two-stage process, which is adding my base coat and my clear coat. But I actually started doing some water sanding on it, and if you look clearly, you could see some orange peel. So I'm actually going to start off with my 1500 sandpaper and my squeegee. I'm also going to keep a rock close to me with some water. I'm going to spray it on the surface, and then I'm going to use my 1500 to cut down some of the orange peel. And as soon as it gets to a certain level, I'm going to also switch to my 2000 grit sandpaper. So I'm going to have to do this for a good probably 20 minutes. Sometimes it may take even a longer process depending on how bad your orange peel is. You're going to actually scrub this until it's matte with the 2000. So you break down the orange peel to a certain surface, a certain level, and then after that then you switch to the 2000 grit sandpaper. So the squeegee, what it does is that it helps to keep the sandpaper flat on the surface, and also it helps you that after you water sand to a certain level, you use the squeegee, and with the water and the surface you tend to pull away, and it helps you to show you exactly how far or how much more you need to sand. And if you look clearly, you will still see some orange peel. That means I need to sand some more. At this stage, I could actually start off by using my 2000 sandpaper. So I'm still using my 2000 grit sandpaper to make sure that I have an even and nice smooth surface before I start to do my compounding. So after you finish wet sanding, you use a wet rag and you use a dry one to wipe the surface clean before you start to do your compounding. This will help you to remove any foreign matters that is on your piece, because you have to make sure that the piece is free from contamination. You don't want to have any dust that will end up turning in the process of doing the polishing that will further affect your clear coat. Should look matte like exactly what you're seeing here. And this is how it should look before you start to do all the compounding. So here I'm going to start off with my rubbing compound. I'm not going to put too much. I'm just going to put a little bit. And I'm going to use my pad to just spread it a little bit over the surface. I'm also going to start off at 1,400 RPM. During this process, bear in mind that you should just not go too fast and don't stay in one place for too long, because this could end up causing too much heat to develop if you're going too slow and in the same spot for too long, and this will tend to burn through your clear coat. As you can see, after making a few attempts, you could see exactly the difference between where I passed the machine compared to where I have not touched. I'm going to actually continue until I have an even finish and looking exactly like what you're seeing here, smooth, before I add my ultra fine machine polish. So this is my finishing after applying my compound and buffing. And this is what your surface should actually look like before you do your final stage. So I'm at the final stage where I'm going to add my 3M Ultra Fine machine polish. And you don't want to add too much on the surface, because you don't want, when you start to use the machine, you start to scatter it all over the place. So you can also use the pad and evenly spread it out and start off at 1,000 RPM. Whenever you start to apply, start to do the buffing, and you realize the machine, you have to also check your surface, because you don't want the surface to get too hot. Hence the reason why you can't stay in one place for too long. And when you reach like small edges, you have to be tender and try not to go like too fast, but at the same time try to be gentle with the air, because the edges tend to get the least amount of paint and the least amount of clear coat, and if you stay for too long, you can burn through the clear coat easily if you stay there for too long, especially if you have the machine at high RPM. And this process, you could also use it to remove not only orange peel, but you could also do the water sanding and compounding and buffing to remove like run from your clear coat, or if you were during the process you actually get some dust during your clear coat. If it's in the base coat, you could water sand it before add your clear coat. Water sand it and give it another shot of paint and before you add your clear coat. So now I'm going to add a little bit more. I'm going to spread it evenly. And I'm going to start through it. is what my finishing look like after I use my ultra fine 3M machine polish. During this process, it helps to remove all the machine swirls and bring up the shine. And after using my ultra fine machine polish, the shine comes up, but I want it to be more glassy. So I'm going to use my Perfect Clean and Shine. I'm going to just spray a mist on the surface, and then I'm going to use my microfiber rag, and I'm going to just gently wipe over the surface. And this will help to bring the shine up even more. This is the final stage after I apply my 3M Clean and Shine and gently wipe it off with my microfiber towel. This is how the finishing looks like. Beautiful. As you can see, the glassiness is shown a lot more in the clear. So like my video and subscribe to my channel. Peace out.